Oh, hi, Sophie. Even my mum on.
They tend to get big, don't they?
Another gentleman that would like to just assist with the men or just walk with them?
Can I keep it here?
Yeah, I need Mag.
They have. There's plenty there.
They need one more.
Oh, they need one more?
Yeah, just a bit of support. Yeah.
Okay. Mom, they're stuck in the route. There was a
Traffic
accident on Route 1.
And that is why we put the Google map and it gave
Hi,
us
how are you?
instant after the
I shouldn't say good to see you over here, but I keep seeing you.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry to hear this.
I very sorry to be part of the life, right? Yes, you are.
Please stand. Namaste. Good morning. Good afternoon, I'm sorry. I just want to, on behalf of the family, take a moment to thank everyone for being here this afternoon. Your prayers and condolences are greatly appreciated by the family. I would like to thank Maharaj Kamla Shukla for his prayers today. And also on behalf of myself and my staff, I just want to offer my sincere prayers to all of you for this loss. I just want to remind everyone, please, if you could just take a brief look at your cell phones to make sure everyone is on silent. And in just a few moments, I would like to invite the immediate family forward so they can begin the puja. And then following the puja, everyone will be given the opportunity to have any words of condolences or any eulogies that you would like to share, memories. So you'll be given the opportunity to do that once the puja has been completed. And then everyone will be given the opportunity to come forward for darshan prior to cremation. Okay, thank you.
All the family members. All the family members. Okay, so can we get around him, all around? You can sit here. You, then you have a son and a...
No.
Anybody? Yeah, all the family members.
Girls, come.
We can all gather around here.
He was born in Sakhar City, but he grew up in Bombay.
Okay, suppose we are at Mumbai's house and we are doing cremation from there. So before we take him to crematory, we have to give him a bath. Now the bath is already given by Christine, but with the holy bath, if you can sprinkle Ganga Jal on him like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Apo Hishtamayo Bhuvastana Urje Dadhatanaha Maheranaye Chachaseyo Vahasivatamo Rasasasya Bhajayate Hanaha Ushati Vivamattaraha Tasma Arangamaho Yasya Sevaya Jinvat Apo Janayatachanaha.
Does everybody do this?
No, you can do that. Mom can do that. बाद में इनके मुंह में तुलसी और गंगा जल रखना है, वो आप रख सकती हैं। ओम चेत तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रेष्ठा हस्तानि कुंगिणः ते खग्गु सहस्त्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः ननिक्जि प्रेतस्य गंधम समर्पयामि। ओके माता जी, आप इनके मुंह में तुलसी और गंगा जल रखें। क्रिस्टियन विल हेल्प अस।
Yeah, okay.
धीरे से वो भी अंदर तुलसी, ओके, स्पून से पुश कर देते हैं अंदर। Now, if somebody else want to do Ganga Jal, then I'm putting it here, and we can do that later. Now, इन्हें टीका कीजिए आप। ओम त्वां गंधर्वा अखनम स्वामिन्द्रस्तं बृहस्पतिः त्वामोखदे सोमो राजा विद्वान्यक्ष्मादमुच्यत। ओम भूर्भुवस्वहं नानिक्जि प्रेतस्य गंधम समर्पयामि। और भी विभूति से भस्म से टीका कीजिए। ओम त्रायुकम जमदग्नेः कश्यपस्य त्रायुकम जद्देवे कुत्रायुकम तन्नो अस्तु त्रायुकम। ओम भूर्भुवस्वहं नानिक्जि प्रेतस्य विभूतिं समर्पयामि। अभी है ये माला पहनाइए। ओम सेवंतिका बकुल चंपक पाटलाब्जे पुण्यगजाति करवीर रसाल पुष्पै बिल्व प्रवाल तुलसी दल मालती बे स्वं पूजयामि जगदीश्वर मे प्रसीदम्। ओम भूर्भुवस्वहं नानिक्जि प्रेतस्य रुद्राक्षमालां समर्पयामि। आप टीका कर दीजिए। Okay, so everybody got something in the bowl. आप भी ले लीजिए। तो जब मैं स्वाहा बोलूँ तो आपको you can offer a couple of pieces of whatever you have in to नानिक जी। ओम प्रजापतये स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये नमः। ओम इंद्राय स्वाहा इदं इंद्राय नमः। ओम अग्नये स्वाहा इदं अग्नये नमः। ओम सोमाय स्वाहा इदं सोमाय नमः। ओम यमाय स्वाहा इदं यमाय नमः। ओम मृत्यवे स्वाहा इदं मृत्यवे नमः। ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा इदं ब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम भुः स्वाहा इदं अग्नये नमः। ओम भुवः स्वाहा इदं वायवे नमः। ओम स्वः स्वाहा इदं सूर्याय नमः। Now instead of swaha, it will be kalpatan, or you can offer whenever I offer. Om ayur jagnena kalpataha. Om prano jagnena kalpataha. Om chakshur jagnena kalpataha. Om shotram jagnena kalpataha. Om vak jagnena kalpataha. Om manno jagnena kalpataha. Om atma jagnena kalpataha. Om Brahma Jagnena Kalpataha. Om Jyotir Jagnena Kalpataha. Om Swar Jagnena Kalpataha. Om Preshtham Jagnena Kalpataha. Om Jagno Jagnena Kalpataha. In case something is left in the bowl, you can empty out in the right hand. And then when I say Swaha, you can offer everything to Nanik ji. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Swaha Idam Prajapataye Namah. And then you can place the bowl here. Okay, now you can take the chair and after sun will stay here. इसके साथ अगर आपकी सिस्टर भी पूजा में पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं तो कर सकते हैं, if she wants to. Okay, now one coconut goes in that corner and one coconut in another corner. इदं फलं मया देवं स्थापितं कुरुतस्तव तेन मे सप्राप्ते भवेत् जन्मनि जन्मनि। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। नानिक जी प्रेतस्य विशेषाज्ञं संपादयामि। और एक और है तो वो घी वाला पार्ट, बटरी पार्ट, इफ यू कैन टच इट टू फॉर इट होल्ड इट। ओम अस्वत्वमति जातोऽसि त्वदयं जायतां पुनः असो स्वर्गाय लोकाय स्वाहा ज्वलतु पातके। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये नमः। Okay, now two sisters and one brother. Okay, so we can, all of you can sit here. He will be sitting in the center. What is the name, sir? Anil. अनिल जी आप बीच में बैठेंगे, एक सिस्टर यहाँ पे बैठेगी, एक सिस्टर वहाँ पे बैठेगी। और ओके ये करके देखिए, इफ यू कैन लाइट अप द बुक एंड अगरबत्ती। ओम चंद्रमा मनसो जातश्चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत चुत्राद्वायुष्य प्राणस्य मुखादग्निरजायत बोधिपदेव रूपसं कर्म साक्षीयमिन्नक्रोध यावत् कर्म समाप्ति स्यात् तावत् तं सुस्थिरो भवम्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। नानिक जी प्रेतस्य दीपं समर्पयामि। ओम ब्राह्मणस्य मुखमासीत् बहुराजन्यः कृतः ऊरुद्रस्य वैश्यः परव्याघ्रो शूद्रो अजायत। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः। नानिक जी प्रेतस्य धूपं समर्पयामि। जोश, I need your favor, please. I told Christine by things for what? We need to oily meditate. About like 1.5 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so when we have to perform this kind of rituals, we have to have our hair removed. So symbolically, I am taking one. यानि कर्जपापानि ब्रह्महत्या विनाशित केशान्यतिष्ठति तस्मात् केशान्वपाम्यहम्. If you can hold it like that. ओम तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्तात् शुक्रमुच्यर्त पश्येम शरदहं शतं जीवेम शरदहं शतकुसुमयाम शरदहं शतं ब्रह्महं शरदहं शतमदीनाः श्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतात्। ओम ग्रंथिदेवताभ्यो नमः। ओम तंतुदेवताभ्यो नमः। ओम यज्ञोपवीतं परमं पवित्रं प्रजापतिर्यत् सहजं पुरस्तात् आयुष्यमग्रं प्रतिमुञ्च शुभ्रं यज्ञोपवीतं बलमस्तु तेजः। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। आपकी ये फिंगर ओम पवित्रोस्ते वैष्णव्यो सवितूर्वः प्रसव उत्पुनान छिद्रेण पवित्रेण सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः पवित्रपते पवित्रपुत्रस्य यत्कामः पुने तच्छतेयम् ओम अत्राद्य महामंगल्य पुण्य पवित्र मासोत्तमे मासे वैशाख मासे कृष्णपक्षे तृतीयं तिथो सौम्यवासरे यथा वर्तमान नक्षत्र मुहूर्त समवाये एवं ग्रह गण विशेषण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य तिथो। आपका गोत्र काश्यप है? गोत्र बोले काश्यप गोत्र मम पितुः नानक जी प्रेतस्य दाहार्थम उत्क्रांत्यादि पिंड प्रदान अहम करिष्ये। वाटर गोसियत। अभी आपको क्या करना है कि ये जमीन ऐसे रखना है और 6 बार ये पहली बार लिया आपने ऐसे पानी बिटवीन अलग दें 1 2 3 4 5 6 टाइम्स वाटर। ओम मध्य पूर्वोच्चारित्यं ग्रहण विशेषण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य तिथौ काश्यप गोत्रस्य नानक जी प्रेतस्य शव निमित्तम अवने जन्म मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। So when someone passes away in our family, normally we offer 6 pins like this, because man has 5 senses, and if those 5 senses are not there, then the soul will not try to enter into the body. So suppose we are at home, Mumbai's house, and before we go to Smasan, we offer the first pin at home. Its name is Shav. ये भी आपको इसी तरह से रखना है। काश्यप गोत्रस्य नानक जी प्रेतस्य शव निमित्तम एषते पिंडः मदित्तम स्तवोपतिष्ठताम्। चम्मच से पंचंग आपका काम है। Now the rest of the items he will offer. Beta, if you can offer 1 by 1 each of these on the top of this. You can use a spoon, that's fine. Okay, that one. Kashyap gotra नानक जी प्रेतस्य शव निमित्तम पिंडे प्रत्यवने जनम गंधम पुष्पम यवाक्षतं तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। You can offer 5 things. 1 2 3 4 5 तो ये हमने पहले पिंड का दान किया। Now before we leave your home, your main entrance, उसके चौखट पे another pin, its name is pan. ओम मध्य पूर्वोच्चारित्यं ग्रहण विशेषण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य तिथौ काश्यप गोत्रस्य नानक जी प्रेतस्य द्वादशे पान्तनिमित्तम अवने जन्म मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। काश्यप गोत्र नानक जी प्रेत द्वादशे पान्तनिमित्तम एषते पिंडः मदत्तम स्तवोपतिष्ठताम्। Once again, same thing repeated. काश्यप गोत्र नानक जी प्रेत द्वादशे पान्तनिमित्तम पिंडे प्रत्यवने जन्म गंधम पुष्पम यवाक्षतं तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। So now finally we are ready to step out of your house. We all are lifting Nanak ji, and the grandson carries a fire in a matki, and we all step out. So when I say Ram Naam Satya Hai, आपको कहना है राम नाम सत्य है, 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 राम नाम सत्य है। We are out of your house. Once we pass a society, mohalla, street, whatever, and when we go to the square where there is an intersection, 3 or 4 crossroads, over there we have to place Nanak ji and offer the third pin. Its name is Kecher. ओम मध्य पूर्वोच्चारित्यं ग्रहण विशेषण विशिष्टायां शुभ पुण्य तिथौ काश्यप गोत्रस्य नानक जी प्रेत चत्वरि खेचर निमित्तम अवने जन्म मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। काश्यप गोत्र नानक जी प्रेत शव निमित्तम एषते चत्वरि खेचर निमित्तम एषते पिंडः मदत्तम स्तवोपतिष्ठताम्। काश्यप गोत्र नानक जी प्रेत चत्वरि खेचर निमित्तम पिंडे प्रत्यवने जन्म गंधम पुष्पम यवाक्षतं तुलसी पत्रम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम मदत्तम तवोपतिष्ठताम्। Kashyap, okay, so in those days, ladies used to come only up to this point. That is called intersection. Lighting up a diya, ladies used to go back home, and only the men used to walk to Smasan carrying him on the shoulder, because it is written in Garu Puran that Dritva Skandeso Pitaramya Smasanaya Gacchati Sho Ashwamega Palam Putro Labhati Ja Pade Pade Nitva Skandesa Prushtenge Sadatatana Lalita Padevata Drunan Mache Namratam Sapitaramah, meaning the son or these days daughters too, who carries their deceased father's or mother's body on the shoulder and walk to crematory, always get the punya of Ashwamegh Yagna, because during the life, the first obligation that he brought you into this world. Now, needless to say how much sacrifice he had to bring you. We can't, and also the relationship between daughter and father. If you go to any part of the universe, any religion, any community, that love has no, what we say, like, I have no words to describe the relationship. You have unconditional love with your dad, daughter and father. So here too, when we go in the back, or we might have Smasan Yatra, we'll be lifting him on the shoulder. So right now we are proceeding to Smasan in Mumbai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. 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 In this way, we keep walking to Smasan. Now in every town or village, the Smasan crematory is always at the outskirts of the village or town, where there is a river. So there is a distance. So in between, we have to have a rest in between, because they used to walk, lifting him on the shoulder. So there is a center point which is called rest place, Vishram Stan. Over there we have to place him and offer the fourth pin. Its name is Bhut. Om Madhya Purvacharyam Dargana Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubhapanya Titham Kashyap Gotrashyam Nanik ji Pretasya Visranto Bhut Nimittam Avane Janam Madattam Tavo Patishtatam. You can use spoon. Kashyap Gotra Nanik ji Preta Visranto Bhut Nimittam Eshate Pinda Hamadattam Stavo Patishtatam. Kashyap Gotra Nanik ji Preta Visranto Bhut Nimittam Pinde Pratyamne Janam Gandam Puspam Yavaksatan Tulsi Patram Dupam Deepam Naivedyam Madattam Tavo Patishtatam. So suppose the crematory is this side, Smasan. If we are walking this way, up to this point his head was heading. Now the head will go on the back side and his legs will be heading. And once again we are on our way to Smasan. Ram Nam Satya Hai. 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 In this way, reciting God's name, we reach Smasan. Now, the Bhumi, place where he is to be cremated, back home, they clean with water. गंगा जल, we already placed गंगा जल. अभी इतना शब्द में हिंदी में बोलूँगा कि मुझे सबको कभी को नहीं बताना है. तो गोमूत्र और गोबर से वो भूमि तैयार करते हैं. So Yamad do not enter there, and Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh themselves come to, or Jhulelal himself come to receive him. So here ये गोमूत्र और गोबर है, थोड़ा स्मेल करना, बैक करना. ओम भूरसि भूमिरस्य दितिरसि विश्वतहाया विश्वस्य भुवनस्य धत्तिं पृथिवीं यच्च पृथिवीं द्रोहं पृथिवीं माहिंसेहि. ओम पृथिवी त्वया धृता लोका देवी त्वं विष्णुना धृता त्वं च धारय मां देवी पवित्रं कुरुचासनम्. ओम भूर्भुवस्व भूम्ये नमः सर्वोपचार्य गंधं पुष्पमक्षतान् समर्पयामि. गंगा जल. ओम इदमापः प्रभुता मद्यं च मलं च यच्च विद्रुद्रोहानृतं यच्च शेपे अभिरूणम्. आपो मा तस्मादेन सह पवमानश्च मुञ्चतु. ओम भूर्भुवस्व भूम्ये नमः सर्वोपचार्य प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारं समर्पयामि. Now the place is ready, Bhumi. Now we have to make a fire, chita. Symbolically, using sandalwood and samidhas, we make fire back home. This is samidhas and sandalwood stick. So this is a symbolic chita for him. Om samiddo anjana krutaram matinam drutamagne madhumatpinvamanaha vajivahan vajinam jatavedo devanam vaksipriyama sajastam ओम अपेतो यंतु पणयो सुम्ना देवप्रियवः अस्य लोकः सुसावतः द्युबीरहो विरक्तु विवेक्तं यमो ददात्ववसानमस्मे. Using 2 hands, if you can offer water on the cheetah. So cheetah is ready, pier is ready. At pier point place, we offer the big pin. Its name is Vayu. Om Adya Purvacharya Gragana Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubha Punyatitham Kashyap Gotram Nanik ji Preta Chitasthane Vayu Nimittam Avane Janam Padattam Tavo Patishtatham Kashyap Gotram Nanak ji Preta Chitasthane Vayu Nimittam Eshate Pindahamattam Stavo Patishtatham Kashyap Gotra Nanak ji Preta Chitasthane Vayu Nimittam Pinde Pratyavne Janam Gantam Puspam Yavaksatan Tulsi Patram Dhupam Dipam Naivedyam Madattam Tavo Patishtatham Kesri Sai Natha Guru Govinda Partipurishwara Jaya Govinda Prashanti Nilaya Radhe Govinda Shri Guru Jaya Guru Vithala Govinda Vithala 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 Govinda Shri Guru Jaya Guru Vithala Govinda Shri Sai Natha Guru Govinda. Nanik ji is leaving us, unfortunately, most tragically, or I say untimely, because the parents, however old are they, no matter if they are 150 years old, but their death is always untimely, as there is only one father and one mother in life. So Nanak ji is leaving us. Whatever sweet memories he had with the families and friends, he is going to carry with him. So 6 pin is for the sweet memories. Om Adya Purvacharya Gargana Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubha Punyatitham Kashyap Gotrashyam Nanak ji Preta Sauhaste Sadak Nimittam Avane Janam Madattam Tavo Patishtatham Kashyap Gotra Nanak ji Preta Sauhaste Sadak Nimittam Eshate Pindaha Madattam Stavo Patishtatham Kashyap Gotra Nanak ji Preta Sauhaste Sadak Nimittam Pinde Pratyavne Janam Gandham Puspam Yavaksatan Tulsi Patram Dhupam Dipam Naivedyam Madattam Tavo Patishtatham. If you can follow me. Anena Anena Pinda Danena Kashyapa Gotra Mama Pituhu Nanik ji Preta Sadagati Uttam Loka Praptihi. Water goes in the copper plate. And once again, if you can take the water. Om Adya Purvacharyam Gargana Visheshana Visheshtayam Shubha Punyatitham Kashyap Gotra Nanak ji Preta Dahartham Kapalagni Siddhyartham Ajyana Samasta Vyahruti Tata Prayashchit Homam Karishye. Water goes there. Now, जो ग्रैंडसन ने जो मटकी में अग्नि लिया था घर से निकलते वक्त, तो वो अग्नि में थोड़ी आहुति देनी हमें. तो ये अग्नि यहाँ पे प्रकट करेंगे अग्नि. ओम अग्निदूतं पुरोदधे हव्यवावहं बभ्रुवे देवं आसादयादिह. ओम चत्वारि शृंगा त्रयो अस्य पादद्वे शीर्षे सप्तहस्तासो अस्य त्रिधा बद्धो वृखभोरो रवितिमहो देवो मर्त्यं आविवेश. ओम अग्ने वैश्वानर शांडिल्यासित देवलेति त्रिपवरान्वित भूमिर्मातः वरुण पितः मेघध्वज प्राणमुखो मम सम्मुखो भव. ओम अग्नये नमः. सर्वोपचाराते गंधम पुष्पमक्षतां समर्पयामि. If you can touch it here and then place it here. Flower and jal. अग्नि को नमस्कार. ओम अग्निं प्रज्वलितं वन्दे जातवेद हुताशनम् हिरण्यवर्णमल्लं समृद्धो विश्वतो मुखम्. ओम अग्नये नमः. सर्वोपचाराते गंधम पुष्पमक्षतां समर्पयामि. प्रार्थनापूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि. आप ऐसे पकड़ के रखिए अनिल जी, थोड़ा स्लोली स्लाइडली, and one by one they will be offering. After some time he will offer. Go better if you can give offer ghee and then you can keep dripping like this. Okay, drip. Okay. Om Prajapataye Swaha. Idam Prajapataye Namah. ओम इंद्राय स्वाहा इदम इंद्राय नमः। ओम अग्नये स्वाहा इदम अग्नये नमः। ओम सोमाय स्वाहा इदम सोमाय नमः। ओम विष्णवे स्वाहा इदम विष्णवे नमः। ओम रुद्राय स्वाहा इदम रुद्राय नमः। ओम लोमभ्यः स्वाहा इदम लोमभ्य नमः। ओम त्वचे ओम त्वचे स्वाहा इदम त्वचे नमः। ओम लोहिताय स्वाहा इदम लोहिताय नमः। ओम मेदोभ्यः स्वाहा इदम मेदोभ्य नमः। ओम मांसेभ्यः स्वाहा इदम मांसेभ्य नमः। ओम स्नायुभ्यः स्वाहा इदम स्नायुभ्य नमः। ओम अस्थिभ्यः स्वाहा इदम अस्थिभ्य नमः। ओम मजद्भ्यः स्वाहा इदम मजद्भ्य नमः। ओम रेतसे स्वाहा इदम रेतसे नमः। ओम पायवे स्वाहा इदम पायवे नमः। ओम आयसाय स्वाहा इदम आयसाय नमः। ओम प्रायसाय स्वाहा इदम प्रायसाय नमः। ओम संयासाय स्वाहा इदम संयासाय नमः। ओम व्यासाय स्वाहा इदम व्यासाय नमः। ओम उद्यासाय स्वाहा इदम उद्यासाय नमः। ओम शुचे स्वाहा इदम शुचे नमः। ओके बेटा। ओम शोचते स्वाहा इदम शोचते नमः। ओम शोचमानाय स्वाहा इदम शोचमानाय नमः। ओम शौकाय स्वाहा इदम शौकाय नमः। ओम तपसे स्वाहा इदम तपसे नमः। ओम तप्यते स्वाहा इदम तप्यते नमः। ओम तप्तमनाय स्वाहा इदम तप्तमनाय नमः। ओम तप्ताय स्वाहा इदम तप्ताय नमः। ओम धर्माय स्वाहा इदम धर्माय नमः। ओम निष्कृत्ये स्वाहा इदम निष्कृत्ये नमः। ओम प्रायश्चित्ते स्वाहा इदम प्रायश्चित्ते नमः। ओम भेषजाय स्वाहा इदम भेषजाय नमः। ओम यमाय स्वाहा इदम यमाय नमः। ओम अंतकाय स्वाहा इदम अंतकाय नमः। ओम मृत्यवे स्वाहा इदम मृत्यवे नमः। ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा इदम ब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम ब्रह्महत्याय स्वाहा इदम ब्रह्महत्याय नमः। ओम विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यः स्वाहा इदम विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमः। ओम दयापृथिवीभ्यां स्वाहा इदम दयापृथिवीभ्यां नमः। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा इदम प्रजापतये नमः। Okay, rice and sesame taken together. And if you can offer it in the body there. ओम त्रव्यादग्ने नमः सर्वोच्च तिलक्षतान् समर्पयामि। ओम अस्मत्त्वमदि जातु सीत्वदयं जायतं पुनः अस्वर्गाय लोकाय स्वाहा। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये नमः। Okay, now we need to go by Nanik ji. कि गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण गोपाल लाल no not आप कि गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण जय गोपाल लाल बाल राधा कृष्ण जय 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 कृष्ण 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 जय कृष्ण 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 जय गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण जय गोपाल लाल बाल राधा कृष्ण जय। बस चेस्ट पे टच करके बात के गोपी कमल हारी प्यारी बाह्य मीरा मन विहारी मदन मोहन मुरलीधारी कृष्ण जय। In his right hand. गोपी कमल हरि प्यारी बाह्य मीरा मन विहारी मदन मोहन मुरलीधारी कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय कृष्ण 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 जय कृष्ण 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 जय गोविंद कृष्ण जय गोपाल कृष्ण जय गोपाल लाल बाल राधा कृष्ण जी। वो बाद में करते हैं। अच्छा तो इफ यू कैन गो टू अदर साइड both of you
Just give it back.
and then if you can hold it from here, two ends, both the ends, and then up center or you can hold it from there, both the ends, and no keep it, okay, keep it like that, okay, you can go there. बीच में से ओम तस्मात् अग्नत् सर्वभूतानां संवृतं चक्रे वायव्यानारण्याग्रम्योश्चै ओम भूर्भुवस्वः ननद जी प्रेतस्य वस्त्रं समर्पयामि। अब मुंह खुला रखना है सिर्फ।
Show the face and then you can, yeah. That's it.
अभी वो
Garden. Garden.
रुद्रमाला हमला
ओ चल चल अभी मुझे वही अपने पसंद है, वही अच्छा लगता है। अभी आपको क्या करना है ग्रैंडसन? वन ऑफ यू is going to carry these, but you need to balance it because fire has to be on all the time. So if you hold it from here, so it will be balanced. And now counterclockwise, you are going to walk around Nanik ji 4 times. आप इनके पीछे जाइए। ओम आपो हिष्टामयो भुवस्तान ऊर्जे दधातनः महेरणाय चक्षसे यो वः शिवतमो रसस्य बाधयते हनः ओषधीरिवमान्तरः तस्मारङ्गमामहो यस्य वायुजिन्वत् आपो जन यथा जनः ओम सप्तास्यासन् परिदयस्त्रिः सप्त समितः क्रैतः देवाय गगनन्तन्वान अबध्नन् पुरुखन् पशुम् यानि काञ्च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे। ओम हरि ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इखवे बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः। जाते रुद्रा शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिन्तया नस्तन्वा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकषिः। ओम करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्दे श्री महादेव शंभो। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनं मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम त्रायुकं जमदग्नेः कश्यपस्य त्रायुकं यद्देवे कुत्रायुकं तन्नो अस्तु त्रायुकम्। एक और फिनिश कर देते हैं। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। Then you can stand here. So can we give him, can we stand up for 5 minutes? तो हमारे घर में जो एंसेस्टर चले गए आपके दादाजी दादी जी और उनके फादर उनके मदर वो भी 3 जनरेशन है मिनिमम। और उनके इनके पिताजी भी जो नाना जी वो अगर नहीं है
सब याद नहीं है।
नहीं नाम की जरूरत नहीं है। तो उन सबको नमस्कार कीजिए, जो पूर्व एंसेस्टर चले गए इनको सबको नमस्कार कीजिए। ब्रह्मस्तंभ पर्यंतम देवर्षि पितृमानवः तृप्यन्तु पितरः सर्वे मातृमाता महादयः अतितकूलकोटीनां सप्तदीपनिवासिनः आ ब्रह्मा भूना लोकादितमस्तु तिलोदकं ये बान्धवा ये यज्ञजन्य बान्धवा ते सर्वतृप्तिमायन्तु मया दत्तेन वारिण ये केचस्मत्कुले जाता अपुत्र गोत्रणमुत ते गृह्णन्तु मया दत्तं वस्त्रनिष्पीडनोदकम्। ओम ब्रह्मजगनानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्वेशिमतिसुरुचो वेन आवह सुबुज्ञा उपमा अस्य विष्टा सतस्तयोनिमसतस्य विवह। ओम ब्रह्मणे नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। ओम इदं विष्णुविचक्रमे तेडानि रडे पडम्मा समुद्रमस्य पादो सुरेश्वरम्। ओम विष्णवे नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। ओम हरि ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इखवे बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः। जाते रुद्रा शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनितया नस्तन्वा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकषिः। ओम रुद्राय नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। ओम यमाय त्वां गिरस्वते पितृमते स्वाहा स्वाहा धर्माय स्वाहा धर्मपित्रे। ओम यमाय नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। ओम प्रेता जयता नर इन्द्रो वह शर्म जचतु उग्रा वह सन्तु बाहुनाद्रख्यायता सतम्। ओम तत्पुरुषाय नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वकं नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुत स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यस्तवै वेद साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदै गायन्ति यं सामगं ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः कृत्वा सुदुष्करं कर्म जानता वाप्यजानता मृत्युकालवशं ज्ञात्वा नरं पञ्चत्वमागतं धर्मसमायुक्तं लोभमोहसमावृतं दहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगो शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु सन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः ॐ शान्तिः 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 सुशान्तिर्भवतु। हमने अपने रिचुअल्स के मुताबिक हमने लाइव अपने दे दिया। अभी अगर in case they don't let us do that in the back, sometimes some places they don't let us do this. So हमने अपना काम कर लिया। तो यहाँ पे at this point we are going to do ओमकार when we say Om, stretching, pranam mantra, and then we will have a moment of silence in Nanik ji's honor. असतो मां सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं मृगमय ओम शांति 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 सुशांतिर्भवतु। तो पूज्य नानक जी के प्रमाण पवित्र पुण्यशाली आत्मा की अंतिम विधि करने में thank you for allowing me to do this puja. Thank you Priya ji. And during the what we said like puja, आपने जो शांति बनाए रखी तो उनका तो सम्मान हुआ, साथ में मेरा भी सम्मान हुआ। तो सभी को हृदयपूर्वक नमस्कार करता हूँ। बैठ जाइए आप, अभी थोड़ी बाकी और भी है। थैंक यू। Okay, when Agni Sanskar is done, we collect ash. So symbolically, if you can tape it and put it back. This is ash collection. Om here. ओम अस्वत्वमति जातो शीतोदयं जायतं पुनः असो स्वर्गाय लोकाय स्वाहा जलदुपादके। You can put it back. Yeah. अभी एक ही गिरा। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये नमः। Okay, Anil, watch me. All of you need to come this side and watch me. What I do here. So this time we are going clockwise. You can keep this on the right shoulder and from the back side. First 2 rounds he will do that, next 2 rounds he will do that. We are going to go 4 times like this. And when you keep walking from the back side, they will be offering milk here. It is called pacifying cheetah. चीता को ठंडी करना बोलते हैं, तो उधर तो चांस नहीं मिलता उधर कोई। तो फर्स्ट 2 rounds you can do this, and next 2 rounds he will do that. Keep it on this one.
First I want.
आपको तो यहीं पे रखना है, बस वो पीछे से ये करेंगे। ओम अद्य पूर्वोच्चारिते प्रगण विशेषण विशेषायं शुभ पुण्यतिथौ कश्यप गोत्रस्य ननिक प्रेतस्य चिताबाहो उपशमनार्थं च दहजनित पीड़ा उपशमनार्थं च इदं उदकाञ्जलिस्ते उपतिष्ठधामः ओम अद्भ्यः संव्रतः पृथिव्यैरसाच्य विश्वकर्मणः समवर्तताग्रे तस्य तष्टा वेदद्रूपमेति तन्मर्तस्य देवत्वात् मा जानमग्रे ओम वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तमादित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमेव विदित्वाति मृत्युमति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय ओम प्रजापतिश्च गर्भे अन्तर्जायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य योनिं परिपश्यन्ति तिरस्तस्मिन्नः तस्तुर्भुवनानि विश्वा ओम जो देवेभ्यो आतपतये जो देवानां पुरोहितः पूर्वो जो देवेभ्यो जातो नमो रुचाय ब्रह्मये ओम रुचं ब्रह्म्यं जनयन्तो देवा अग्रतडब्रुवन्नं जस्त्वैवं ब्राह्मणो विद्यतस्य देवा असन्वसे ओम श्रीश्च ते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्या वहोरात्रे पार्श्वे नक्षत्राणि रूपमश्विनो व्यात्तम् इष्टन्निखाणं मैखाणं सर्वलोकं मैखाणं अगर इंडिया में होते हैं तो भी ड्रॉप इट ऑन द फ्लोर एंड ब्रेक इट हियर वी कैन नॉट थ्रो इट सो ये हमने तोड़ दिया और ये तोड़ भी दिया तो ऑटोमेटिक अंदर तक हो जाएगा नाउ नीडलेस टू से यू आर गोइंग टू अपोलोजाइज आई हैव टू अपोलोजाइज बिकॉज I have to apologize to him that Nanik ji, please forgive me if I made a mistake in your puja. So, in case you hurt him during the life, you can say anything to him. And one thing you must tell him that Dad, don't worry about Mom, so he'll be able to live peacefully. And secondly, you can say anything in your mind that if you are to be reborn, then please make me or make us your children only. We don't want to go anywhere. Anything you can say that. Here I am going to recite Bhagavad Gita's 12th and 15th chapter, and then I hand over to family.
हम तीन बोले
कितनी मिनट चाहिए?
10 मिनट तो होना चाहिए
15 मिनट चाहिए? हाँ हाँ तो मैं भगवद गीता अध्याय पढ़ लेता हूँ अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः एवं सततयुक्तं ये भक्तस्त्वं पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः श्री भगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो येऽयं नित्ययुक्त उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतस्ते मे युक्ततमामतः ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्य व्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कुटस्थमचलं ध्रुवं सन्नियमिन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहितैरतः कलेषु दिक्तरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्ता सप्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसां मय्येव मन आदस्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अथ उद्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समादातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोग्येन तप्तो मामिच्छन्तु धनञ्जय अभ्यासेभ्य समर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिं वपस्यसि अथेतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुमद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानं ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानकर्मफलत्यागस्य गच्छन्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां मैत्रकरुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कार समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्ट सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पित मनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्त समे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो य स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी यो मद्भक्त समे प्रियः यो न रुष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शुञ्चति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान् मे समे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णो सुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतं इदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धानामतपरमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियः इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम 12. अथ 15. श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधश्चाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् अधस्वचोर्ध्वं प्रसुतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रबाला अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धेनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न जातिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठान् अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलमशङ्कशस्त्रेण गदेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूय तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति प्रसुता पुराणी निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषान् अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत् न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तत्तम परमं मम ममेवंशो जीवलोके जीवभूतसनातनं मनःष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्च व्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उत्क्रामन्तं सितं वापिं भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढाननुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यामन्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त चेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्यमां गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमौजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वान् सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्यं चतुर्विधं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदिसन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वैदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेह चाहं द्वाविमो पुरुषो लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरस्सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमपुरुषस्त्वन्यं परमात्मेत्युदारतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्य वय ईश्वरः यस्मादक्षरमतीतोऽहं मक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोकवेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमं यो मामेवं सम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद्भक्ति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रमिदं मुक्तमया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्यबुद्धिमान्यसा कृतकृतश्च भारतम् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे कृष्णार्जुनसंवादे पुरुषोत्तम नाम 15. So respected Nanik ji is leaving us. He wants to pray to God first and then he says a couple of words to us. What he prays to God is, O most merciful God, I repent for all my sins, if any. I repent for all my sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that should not have been spoken, for every deed that should not have been done. I repent for every word, deed or thought inspired by selfishness or hatred or lust. I repent for every lustful action and thought, for any lie, for any hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for any slander or backbiting. In your unbounded mercy, I ask you to forgive me for all my sins. I repent for every word, thought or deed that hurt, pained or harmed others. And last but not least, he says to God, O God, please forgive me and my family for our constant failure to think, speak and act according to your will. And now he says a couple of words to us. He says, I'm very thankful to all of you for being here on my last exit or departure from this planet. Those who couldn't make it, I can understand, but at least you are here. And he further says that, if during the life, if I hurt you, I apologize. In case you hurt me, you already have my forgiveness. He wants you to carry on the legacy, celebrate the legacy, wants you to be very healthy, happy and prosperous in all the areas of your life, saying that, I'm not going to be there directly, but I'll be always there indirectly to protect you. Shubham bhavatu, kalyanamastu, arogyamastu, aishwaryamastu, santirastu, tuštirastu, dhanakarkasam hari om namah shivaya, om namah shivaya, om namah shivaya. And now before I forget, Christine, can you come here please? Before I forget, I must thank Christine for best, excellent, kind services in the hard time. Because of you, we are able to do better than back home. And the family is also very thankful to you and the entire community. So if you are watching from India, please bless her for her outstanding work. And now I hand over to family.
Should I say a few things now? Is that-
Yeah.
Namaste, Hari Om, Om Shanti. Let me begin by first, as Panditji said, really thanking all of you, those who have made it here, those who've taken the time to call us, message us. Every heartfelt message from you, I thank you for that, and my whole family thanks you. And it's truly you all as a community who've accepted us and my family in this place, in this foreign land. I really thank you, and I'm grateful for that. Really, it is all about community. I look around and I'm really blessed that my parents, my dad and mom, and my sisters have kept such great community and friendships. So thank you all for being here, and those who are on the stream also, thank you for that. So I'm just gonna say a few fond memories of my dad that really helped for me define who he was as a father and as a man. And then I think his grandchildren are gonna say a few words as well. And after that, I think after the rites, etc., please come forward, and whoever wishes to say any kind words and sympathies, feel free to do that. So, as you know, many of you know, outside of just my father's passions, outside of his family and love for his family, he had passions for his Sindh and Sakhar, where he was born. He talked incessantly about that to anyone who would listen to him. So I have that as a great cherished memory. He really enjoyed speaking about where he grew up and his homeland. And then his other passion was obviously his love for his old Hindi and old songs, Saigal. Somebody reminded me, actually, my wife's uncle actually messaged me saying he really remembers my dad singing A.C. Atma song at my wedding. So you all probably know that he enjoyed his music, he enjoyed his old songs, so that's great. But there are two things that really touched me from remembering and thinking and reflecting about my dad is, and these are all from when I was younger, but these are the ones that really have stayed with me for my life and will stay with me for my life. And as a young father living in Bombay, working in a public defender's office and just doing the best that he could with his family and supporting family, sometimes on Sunday evenings we'd go visit my mom's parents, and he'd come pick us up and then bring us back home. And I remember this vividly. Sometimes you got to take a cab, and sometimes she would say, I'll buy you a 5-star chocolate if we walk a little bit and take the train. And I remember this vividly, that one time I said yes, I wanted to go take a walk and go to the train for the motivation of the chocolate, but then halfway through I started crying when I saw a cab go by, and he actually hailed the cab, took the cab with us, and then he bought me a piece of chocolate at the train station as well. So that was the man, that was the father, the loving father. Later on, yes, I probably do deserve some of the tough love that he gave me, but he was a good, kind father. And as a man, I don't think it would be remiss if I didn't talk about his legacy and his honesty. Again, like I said, he was a public defender, attorney in Bombay Municipal Court, and I remember one Sunday sitting there in my living room doing work. I think it must have been one of his clients who came in and visited him, and I remember him, the guy brought a piece of a basket or box of sweets, etc. And underneath it, unbeknownst to me, but he had left an envelope full of money. And then my dad had to take a phone call, and he came back, and by that time the guy was started to leave. He picked up the box and he found the money, and he ran back. And I remember this because we lived on a 3-floor building, and you could see from the balcony, and as a kid I was curious what was going on, and I watched him, and he went down and he actually stopped the man and gave him back the envelope of money. So those are two of my precious memories of him. He was a kind, honest man. And yes, all I can say is he lived by his rules, by his ways. But at the end of the day, he was a dutiful father. He helped us. And my whole family couldn't be here in this country without his risks and his adversities. So that's all I'm going to say. I do think he was a great man, and I'm sure you all will agree with that. And I'm going to ask my brother Kumar to come say a few words, and then the grandchildren will, whoever wants to say a few words.
Wow, it's a big crowd. Nice turnout. He was certainly a man with a wealth of knowledge. I tried to make a note of things that he did. The one that stands out most was how he used to share memories of his past. This was pre-Google days. Then all of a sudden he found Google, and his knowledge just expanded tremendously. He found ways to get shortcuts from his house to my house, things that I didn't even know existed. He had an exponential growth of knowledge, and he wanted to share it every way he could. He could discuss politics, he could discuss religion, stocks, business. Every now and then he called me up. I think I've lost $500 today. And I said, Dad, tomorrow you're going to gain it back. Just keep that in mind. Things keep changing, markets go up and down. But he always sprinkled his own opinions on everything. And, it always came from his heart. He didn't fudge anything. He just wanted to make sure you guys understood, and understood what he said, what he meant. And he was a strong family man, and strong beliefs. Always trying to leave behind his knowledge, wisdom, and legacy, as Anil mentioned. He always wanted to make sure everybody knew what he was all about and what he wanted to do, and pass that on to the next generation, the kids, the grandkids, and I hope to pass the baton on to my grandkids when everything is right. Kids love to see him, and I think they even loved him more when he left, because they always gave him a kerchief. He always had a kerchief in his hand. Bye, I'm leaving, here's a kerchief for you. So it's a lesson learned from that. So next time when I see my kids, my grandkids, I'll give them Kirchi when I see them. And also when I leave, so they look forward to seeing me again. But he taught me a lot of lessons along the way. There was a lot of good things, a lot of memories that I shared with him, probably more than you even shared, because we used to sit and bond over beers and meals, and always told me stories of the past, stories of his hometown and his travels in Spain, his life here in New Jersey, in PA. So it was all good, and I hate to say this, Anil, I think I was his favorite kid. He also enjoyed, a lot of good meals with me. But like my parents, he has earned his wings. And I'm sure is freely sharing his stories with those angels in Cloud 9. So rest in peace, and Dad, say hi to my parents.
Kumar, Neil, and do you guys, anybody else? Nikki or anybody?
Nana was a warrior. He fought every day until his last. When nobody thought he could get up and walk, 1 second you'd leave him on the couch, the next he'd be halfway up the stairs on his own. Even after his stroke, in his most fragile state, he tried to do everything he used to, and didn't want anybody's help doing it.
Nana was a scholar. He was born decades ahead of his time. He'd always be on his computer, responding to emails, checking the stock market, watching the news, listening to music with his headphone on, and asking me what Twitter was.
Nana was a debater, a scholar, a talker, and boy was he a talker. He loved to talk to you about quite literally anything. He loved to talk quite literally anyone about quite literally anything, and he loved to talk to quite literally anyone about his opinions on quite literally anything.
And he was stubborn about his opinions too. Heck, if I didn't get my stubbornness from my dad, I sure as heck got it from him. But more likely, I probably got a double dosage of stubbornness from both. But even when he lost his ability to talk, he'd still find a way to express his opinions, even about the smallest things. On the food he ate, on the show he watched, on how he didn't want help getting up from his chair. But most of all, Nana was Nana. He'd never let us go without Kirchi, and he'd always joke about asking it back after we got older. Actually, one memory that distinctly stands out is after he had his stroke. I went over to Nani and Nana's house and stayed with them, and we were trying to get him to communicate. And we played with cards, we played with letters, we tried to get him to draw, and he wouldn't match any of them. But the moment we brought Kirchi out, he responded immediately and started laughing and was matching and playing with the money and everything. So Kirchi was definitely his thing. But yeah, so he'd even argue about the little things, refusing to wear his hearing aid. He'd fold the trash in the most tidy of ways, to the point where he would hit the trash up better than I would fold a gift up. He'd hum his songs on the couch while watching the news, and then 5 minutes later, inevitably, he'd fall asleep snoring, watching that same news. But through all his quirks, he managed to build an empire along the way in his family, in his kids, and in us. Nana had a lot to give, especially to his friends and family. In fact, Nikki mentioned this, the only sign he learned and consistently used over the last 2 years was how to say I love you. So thank you, Nana. Thank you for showing us how to love with and without words, and remembering how to love even when everything else had seemingly been taken away from you. We love you too, and we hope you have all the Kirchi in the world.
Does anybody else, would anybody else like to say anything? Feel free to come up.
waiting for Christian actually. You can go ahead. ये भी आप लाए ये भी आप लाए ये भी अच्छा काम
पंडित जी वो उधर से निकालें या
वो अंदर अंदर रखेंगे ऊपर ही लगा
तो
दें
इसके ऊपर
ओम तस्मादग्नत् सर्वहुतः संवृतं प्रकदज्यं पशुंस्तांश्चक्रे वायव्या नारण्यग्राम्यांश्च ये ओम भूर्भुवस्वः ननज्य प्रेतस्य वस्त्रं समर्पयामि Now, Christian, we have to follow Christian instructions.
At this time, we will give everyone the opportunity to come forward for darshan. We ask that the immediate family come forward first, and once they place their flowers, everyone else can line up on my right side here. You can come around, offer your flowers, and then greet the family as you exit on my left. So I'd like to keep the center aisle open so that way we can set up the live stream. But we ask that everyone, once the immediate family comes, to start lining up on the right side, my right. And that way everyone can come and offer flowers.
Sorry.
So we'll have that opportunity now. Once we conclude the viewing and darshan, we'll ask everyone, we'll have a few more last rites to conclude the services, and then we will proceed to the back for cremation. Thank you.
के ऊपर घी लगेगा। ओम घृतं विमिक्षे घृतमस्य जो निघृतेशितो घृतं पश्यताम् अनुकृतमावहमादयस स्वाहा कृतं रकबुभक्षि हव्यम ओम भूर्भुवस्व नानक जी प्रेतस्य घृतं समर बाद में ये और कर सकता है पूरी बॉडी को और कर सकता है
ये चम्मच से हाथ से
ये पूरा बॉडी बॉडी के ऊपर
सर पे
in the front. You can put the shoes on now. Because we are going to walk about like 1,000 yards. And granddaughter? Granddaughter? Also. Grandmother will be walking in the back, and grandson will be carrying this in the front.
Why don't you let Ryan take it? Right hand, right hand.
You need to balance it, so I can now we are going this way. Walk about like 1,000 yards or 400, 500 yards. Lifting him on the shoulder, and then we'll be walking on the back like this. Those ladies can go directly from the ladies, and the men will be walking. going to have small Bhasan Yatra, like we are going to walk around the chapel. So जब मैं बोलूँ राम नाम सत्य है तो आपको सबको बोला राम नाम सत्य है थोड़ी सी मजा आता निकालेंगे राम नाम सत्य है 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 राम नाम सत्य है
We have the
राम
chord.
नाम सत्य है
We have the little chord in the middle.
राम नाम सत्य है राम नाम सत्य है राम नाम
I
सत्य
come
है
here.
राम नाम सत्य है 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 Is everybody okay? राम नाम सत्य है 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 राम नाम सत्य है
Almost there.
राम नाम सत्य है 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 राम नाम सत्य है
Just be careful, watch your hands.
Yep. And then we can slide him.
Once you place up in front,
Watch
you
your
can
hands.
roll.
Yeah, there you go. Roll it up.
little bit slightly.
Roll it. Thank you.
Okay, now once again. बहन जी, आप यहाँ पे आइए और ये पकड़ के काउंटर पर फिर से 4 बार काउंटर पर फिर से 4 बार तो ठीक है यम ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुत स्तुवन्ति दिव्यस्तवै वेदासाङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदै गायत्र्यं सामगां ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनां यस्यान्तनविदुः सुरासुरगणां देवाय तस्मै नमः कृत्वा सुदुष्करं कर्म जानता वाप्य जानतं मृत्युकालवशं ज्ञात्वा नरं पञ्चत्वमागतं धर्माधर्मसमायुक्तं लोभमोहसमावृतं दहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो grandkids, this is that promoting if you can turn around. Grandkids.
Who?
Grandkids.
Grandkids.
Grandchildren. Om Dyoh Shantirantarikshago Shantihi Prathivi Shantirapaha Shantirokhadayah Shantihi Vanaspatayah Shantir Vishve Devaham Shantir Brahma Shantihi Sarvagom Shantihi Shantire Vashantihi Shama Shantire De Yato Yatah Sami Hase Tato No Abhayam Kuru Shannaha Kuru Prajapyo Vayannaha Pasubhyaham Om Shanti 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 Susantir भवतु ये भी रख दीजिए यहाँ पे बाद में सब नमस्कार कर दीजिए and you can come you can turn around so नमस्कार कर दिया लास्ट टाइम और जब मैं बोलूँ गोपाल कृष्ण तो आपको बोलना है राधे कृष्ण गोपाल कृष्ण 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 राधे कृष्ण झूलेलाल संघ है झूलेलाल का कोई संघ है झूलेलाल संघ है झूलेलाल संघ है
You can proceed to the witness room that is on your back right there, through that door, and then you're gonna switch the button. You're gonna switch and start the unit. Yeah, right there, inside. Number 2.